What's up, guys? It's Jonathan with One Big Impact. This is a Jim Wendler 531 update. I'm officially done with the third week, which will be the cap out of the final week, and the subsequent week, next week, will be a deload, so that doesn't really matter. So, first of all, results, thoughts, going forward, and kind of helping people understand exactly, what I did for some accessory movements, in addition to what I feel is probably the best information that I can share at this point. So, obviously, the first week is really easy, and if you've tried the program, you probably know it's pretty simple. Not much to it as far as intensity is different. You obviously got those drop sets and stuff like that. Not the drop set. I guess it would be considered a drop set, joker set, whatever you want to call it. At the end of your, week 1 you do 5-5-5. Week 2 you do 3-3-3. Week 3 you do 5-3-1. Sets, reps, whatever. But at the end of everything, you take about 50% of your 90% max, and you put it on there, and you do, for instance, today, for deadlift, it was 5 sets of 8. What I did today was maxed out. So I did, my first set was 390 by 5. Obviously, I warmed up for 10 with the bar at 135, 2 plates. That was my warm-up. Then I went immediately into the 5 for 390. Did those 5, no problem. Jumped up to 440 for 3. Jumped up to 495. It was said 490, but I just said 495 because it just made sense to throw the damn plate on there and do the full thing. Did that for 1, and then I jumped quite high. The program was done at that point, but I wanted to see what I could do for a max. I may have screwed myself up a little bit. I could have pulled that one at the max, but to be honest, I wanted to make sure I got all those numbers and then move forward. This is my first 3 weeks scribble sheet. Then after I pulled that, I went for a new max. I tried to just hit, it was quite a jump. It was a 105-pound jump to 600. I didn't make it. So close. My max before this 3 weeks was 575. Now, just so you know, the first 4 weeks, it's known to be very light in respect to how much more difficult it gets going forward. I didn't get the 600. I almost got the 600. I backed it off to 585, which would be a 10-pound PR. I got it. It wasn't the cleanest. You can see it on Instagram. I posted on there. I always post my fails, too. So I think people just think everything needs to look beautiful and clean. And the reality is, we miss a lot of shit. So I put that on there because I feel like there's no reason to hide it. 585 was not the best. That just tells me 575, my previous max, is going to look even better. I'm all for pulling real maxes, not fake ones. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to pull 6 and then do a calculation and think I can get that other number that it comes out to, because I don't believe that's accurate. For instance, my bench is 315, and it says, when I do the calculation of 270 by 5, like I did the other day, it says my bench is 303. My bench is 315, and I just pushed it like a couple days ago. So, not that that's a lot, it's 12 pounds off. Still, after I pulled the 600 and missed, I dropped it down to 585, waited a really long time, pulled it, Then I dropped it down to 500 to see what I could pull at that, because that would have been like that 495 range in which I'm trying to rep out. So I did that. I pulled 3. I think it was 3. Yeah, it was 3. 500 by 3, which was not bad after I was already taxed. I thought that was pretty decent. Hell of a back pump at this point. Then I dropped it to my 50 per 90%, 260. And then I did, instead of 5 sets of 8, I did 5 sets of 10. Repped them out really fast. Probably within about 15 minutes, I got them all done. Maybe even quicker than that. I go really fast with those. I try to work on speed work with those. But it was a very, very high volume and high intensity day. Like, there was a lot going on, and I didn't give up on anything. So I just wanted to tell you what my deadlift went like. My numbers before this first 3 weeks. Remember, this is the first 3 weeks of a program, which is 90% of my maxes. So it's not like I was continuing on a high range. You know what I mean? I kind of peeled off a little bit and dropped back down and kind of reset and went back in. After a deload, I did a deload for a week. My numbers before I went into this were 315 for the bench, 425 for the squat, and 575 for the deadlift. I have shoulder press tomorrow, so I don't know what that's going to be like. And I'll be completely honest, causes me a lot of pain. Last week wasn't so bad. But I get quite a bit of shoulder pain from those because of the shoulder issues I've had. So I try not to go. I use very respectable numbers on those. I don't ever try to go crazy. The bench did not come up. I tried the other day. I pulled like a rep out, and I just forgot for some reason that it was going to be the day where I was trying to do 5-3-1 max. And I totally spaced it, and I did 5-3-1, as many as I possibly can on the last set. And then I tried to go back in and do 320 to get a 5-pound PR. I just missed it. I got stuck about 3/4 of the way up, and that is also on my Instagram, because I post all my wins, my fails, if I can, because I think it's important to see your sticking points and really kind of work on them and understand, where you were, where you are, if you've worked through that stuff over time. So I probably would have got 320 if I had not tried to pull 5 like a ding dong. And anyway, my bench sits at 315 still. My squat came up 10 pounds. I hit 435, which, I'll be honest, that was also not clean. My body's taxed. I need to go to physical therapy. My knees are having some serious issues right now. And this is not due to the program. I ran a marathon a few months ago. I guess it's been about 6 months. I don't know. What month is this? Yeah, 6 months. 5-6 months. Something like that. And I kept running afterwards, and I was supposed to take time off. I was having some instability issues with my knee. Didn't pay attention. Then I went into powerlifting, blah, blah, blah. Such as so. So I'm up 10 pounds, 435 on my squat. And then my deadlift is up also 10 pounds. Now, if you ask me for a new program, the first week pulling up 10-pound PRs, 20-pound PR on 2, that's good. And I can guarantee, almost guarantee, that by the time I finish the next week, I'm going to have, or the next 3 weeks after this deload, and then I go back in, my bench will be up. And I just won't forget, In the first few weeks of these things, it's hard. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I'm not really tired. I'm just taxed. There was a lot of stuff today. And then I went hiking in the sun for like an hour. Arizona. With my accessory work, I'm going to get a little bit more refined. If you see it, that's all my accessory work. All these little knots, these little notes and stuff like that. So I'm going to fix it up, and I'm going to put it not necessarily on an Excel spreadsheet, but a little bit better of a thing for like something like this version of a deal. You know what I'm saying? And then I have my days on there like that, so I can kind of get a little bit more structure out of it. because I kind of added some stuff, changed some stuff, or whatever. I'll just say I'm really glad that I didn't have abs today, because abs is really difficult. I'm doing like 75, 80-pound decline sit-ups for sets, and that's really hard. It's not hard, but it's just like, have you ever done powerlifting for your midsection? It's not like a burn, it's just like, damn, it's a lot. Just to give you a basic overview on my accessory work, that was kind of the most important part of the video. I wanted to share that with you guys. For my squat, my accessory work is, and these could be depending on, you know, what's going on with your body or whatever. They don't have to be what mine are. Decline sit-ups, weighted. Yeah, I'm up to like 80 pounds, I think, 75, 80 pounds, something like that. Adduction and abduction machines. And that's going to be all I got for that day. Then the next day is going to be bench. And then my rollers and bar extensions are going to be my accessories for that day. Rollers are laying on your back, keeping your elbows tucked, and it's just like a skull crusher but with dumbbells, and you just snap them up. Look it up on Westside Barbell. That one actually I feel like has brought my bench up. My triceps are definitely filled out compared to what they used to be. And then little bar extensions, you know what I'm saying? Like little tricep extensions like this with the little bar. And that's it for that. Oh, and then on that day also I do concentration cable, unilateral cable bicep curls. So they have a machine. You could also do like incline, incline unilateral bicep curls where you're just behind it or whatever. It takes the idea of being able to use any other body part besides biceps. So I'm working on building up biceps because that's a weak point for me, I feel. And I think that's it for that day. And then on the deadlift day, I just added something else today, but I do, damn it, just realized I have to do sit-ups today. I got to do 3 sets of 15, so I got to finish those. But they're not weighted. Those are just flat sit-ups. Rdls Bar Extensions. No, because I have those back-to-back. See, and that's the exact reason that I need to do this the different way. I was doing kettlebells, but I couldn't find any kettlebells heavy enough anymore to stay in my rep range of 12s. So I moved today to bar, and I'm doing 105. With that, I'm not focusing on crazy heavy weight. I'm just focusing on contraction and slow and stretch and everything like that. And then the shoulder press day, I do a lot on shoulders because I'm trying to bring those up too. I'm a big guy, but I don't have big shoulder caps. My shoulders used to be pretty damn good, and I don't know if they are now. I'm really fluffy, so I got a lot of body fat, so I could tell you more in a month or so when I start to lean out a little bit. But my accessory movements on shoulder day is lat raise, the machine where you're just going like this for 3 sets of 12, and then I got rear delt, pec, rear delt, and then I got side delt dumbbell raise, and then I got incline cable fly. So, yeah. So I'm trying to get, when you're building programs and stuff like that, you want to try to see if you can hit certain body parts more than once a week if you can. But I'm going to warn you, and you might think, hey, he's only saying 2 or 3 accessory movements per. So here's the thing. The law of specificity says that if you want to get better at something, you do more of it, right? And it's not to say that the accessory movements won't help you. But if you look at what I'm doing, the volume that I'm doing, I'm going in and doing my sets, and then I'm doing 5 sets of 10 afterwards. If you don't think that's taxing, you're crazy. It's rough. By the time I get to accessories, I'm just like, I'm pretty spent. I'll be completely honest. And I'm low carb right now. Low-ish carb. Playing around with some different meals and stuff like that. But to be honest, my food, the one thing I'm really super concerned with is eating whole foods right now. Doing my best, trying to get my fiber, my vegetable intake up because I've been lagging on that and it's hard. I really haven't had the time to fit in more vegetables. I kind of just stuck with like very low vegetables actually, and I need to fix that. My carbohydrates were fine, but it was through like blueberries and my protein shakes and stuff. My protein's really high, it's like 300. Probably going to back that off a little bit soon. But the accessory movements, you don't need a ton of them. And he talks about that in his book because there's only so much you're going to be able to recover from. That does not mean that you can't train intensely. Oh, and also on deadlift day, I just added in hip thrust and ham raises. Then leaning over ham raises where you're on your knees, pivoting up and pulling up. And you can do those a lot of different ways. You can do them in the Smith machine, believe it or not. You can do a lot of different ways. So a lot of gyms don't have the ham raise or reverse hyper or anything like that. But for me, what program I came from was very intense. So this was kind of like similar in a completely different way. My reps are a lot higher and stuff like that. But a lot of it I transferred over because I didn't want to lose those gains, so almost like maintenance type things and stuff like that. But when I get to a certain point on my numbers and I can't go any higher, I'll like add a set or a rep or something like that and just do my best with that. But what I would say is make it through your first week, your 2 weeks, 3 weeks, make it through the first little cycle of 4 weeks. And I wouldn't do any accessory movements at all in the first time. The only reason I did is because I was already doing a bunch. So I'm trying to continue with those. I would say don't add them in at first. Get a feel for the program and how it works and stuff like that, because you may underestimate how sore you are. I have been literally like, with the accessory movements and stuff like that, my body is like, bro, holy crap. I get out of bed and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I am stiff, I'm locked up, like it's tough. So don't underestimate or overestimate the things that if you're on gear, by all means do whatever you gotta do, but I'm not, I'm a natural lifter, obviously, and I think it's important that you kind of just test your body to see. If you're new to lifting and you're going into this, don't add any accessories. It's going to be too much. And you're going to get plenty of volume from these 4 major lifts. And you probably even go a few months with that being sufficient. But I'm going to report back. I'm going to do my deload starting next week. And then I'm going to go into another 4 weeks. I'm trying to get my lifts as high as possible. The main one I'm really focusing on is I'll probably really want to get my deadlift up to like 600. I don't know if my squat's going to continue. I would assume that my physical therapist is probably going to say, dude, back the hell off of your squats. I don't think they're going to have any issues with my deadlifts or my bench, other than the fact that I need my shoulder replaced. So yeah, hopefully that sheds a little light on the program if you're trying to do it yourself. I hope this information does help you. If it does, please check us out on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. And also check us out on Instagram at One Big Impact. And please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Be stronger than your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Drink your damn water. Stay on track. And as always, thank you so much for all the support. I wish you luck on your program and stay safe.